A big shock in California politics as the Republican Party of California just helped hand Governor Gavin Newsom one of his biggest victories. Coming up, we'll tell you how the Republican Party betrayed its own members and what we're doing to shake things up. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California, and longtime viewers of this podcast know that I have not spared any criticism when it comes to the Republican Party of California. These people, the party elite, the insiders, number one, they are on a good day, inept and absolutely dysfunctional. And on a bad day, frankly, I think that they are corrupt and they've betrayed their own members. And if you're a Republican or if you're anything but a Democrat, frankly, you're a stakeholder in the California Republican Party. You should want to see a Republican Party functioning well and fighting to try to bring some semblance of balance in California, where, frankly, the Democrats have run roughshod over everything and everyone. The super majority control of government that Democrats hold currently is not healthy. It's not good. But it's the reality when you basically have a Republican Party that can't find its ass with a search party and a map. What I'm about to share with you is the sickening truth of the Republican Party either being inept or being corrupted. And let me explain. The California Republican Party no longer fights the Democrats. Sure, there's a couple seats that they focus on, typically congressional seats, because they get money from the national donors, and national donors are only interested in the control of the Congress. And of course, I agree that controlling Congress is important, but I don't believe that we can save a bunch of seats in California if all you see happening in California politics is that you get, a bunch of $1 million checks, written in the last 30 days of an election to buy a bunch of mailers in the mailbox or some TV on the airwaves. If you want to win seats in California or any state for that matter, you have to actually have a functioning party. And a functioning party means that you have to have an agenda and you have to have candidates at every level, not just Congress, but all the way down to water board, fire district, school board. You need a team of people all working together. You need to be able to contact voters. You need to be able to identify which independent voters might be winnable to you, which means that you have to have more conversations than just 30 days out of an election. You have to register voters so that you can at least be within striking distance when it comes to some of these seats. And of course, you have to be able to have organic support on the ground, volunteers who will go door to door, small dollar donors who help fund other elements of a campaign. You can't just do this with a bunch of millionaire checks that buy TV ads and slick mailers in the mailbox. Sadly, the Republican Party of California isn't interested in investing on any of the elements below because, here's my theory, they're run by consultants who don't want to do their job. It's hard to recruit candidates for water board or fire district. That's hard. Why not just recruit one congressional candidate and ignore all the other 150 races in a specific area? And you'll get a couple, $1 million checks to run TV ads. By the way, it's not hard to put a TV ad on the air or put a mailer in the mailbox. They also get a bunch of commission. Typically, the consultants are getting about at least 15%, sometimes as much as 30 to 40% of every dollar spent goes into the consultant's pocket. It's a scam. It's an absolute shakedown. What they don't get commission on, what they don't feel is easy, are admittedly the hard parts of politics. Recruiting volunteers, managing volunteers, deploying volunteers, going on college campuses and high school campuses and trying to get high school and college kids to show up. All these things are difficult, and it takes 365 days a year of work. And so the Republican Party to this point has been inept and only interested in making money for the consultants. And that's a damn shame because it's leaving us, the voters, without any advocates, without any voice. But In this last election, we saw something more than just that generic dysfunction. Oh, you thought I was just going to talk about that? No, I've talked about that for years. The generic dysfunction that I just described. No, I'm talking about either a dereliction of duty or some sort of corrupt bargain. And again, I don't know if it was a corrupt bargain. I hope it's not a corrupt bargain. I don't think it would be a corrupt bargain. But one would have to, given what I'm about to tell you, would at least have to entertain the notion that maybe it was a corrupt bargain. But I just think this was probably garden variety negligence and ineptitude. You see, I'm talking about Proposition 1. There we go. Now let's get into the meat of the matter. Prop 1. Prop 1 was on the March 2024 ballot. It basically is Gavin Newsom's big priority in this election. And the big priority, he says, is to solve homelessness, but Prop 1 does not solve homelessness. I'm not going to go into the details too much, but Prop 1 basically raids mental health treatment funds at the local level. 1/3 of mental health treatment funds at the local level would be cut under Prop 1. That money would then be used to issue a bunch of bonds, $6.4 billion of bonds, debt, credit card. Where would that money go? It would go into the hands of rich developers. The rich developers would do what with the money? They would build government subsidized welfare housing projects, and they would shove them in your neighborhood because a provision of Prop 1 would take away your right to vote down a welfare housing project when it's proposed in your neighborhood. Fine details of these very deceptive ballot measures. Now, had you been paying attention to Reform California, you would have known all this about Prop 1, and you would have voted no on Prop 1 because we warned voters. We did a pretty good amount of expenditures, about $230,000 of expenditures against Prop 1 in this last election. Gavin Newsom had $25 million, by the way. So it was a David versus Goliath fight. But when all the votes were counted, we almost defeated Gavin Newsom. Here are the latest numbers at the Secretary of State's office for Proposition 1. Right now, Proposition 1 has 3,625,991 votes on the yes side, 3,625,991, minus the no votes, 3,597,894. That is a difference of 28,000 votes out of, look at the numbers here, 7.3 million almost. Yeah, 7.3 million votes. Only 28,000 votes separate the yes from the no. We could have won this. And I'm not talking about Reform California spending more money. We spent our $240,000, whatever it was, versus Newsom's $25 million and his glowingly favorable, biased liberal news coverage on Prop 1. And we almost beat it. But here's the damn shame. Are you ready for this? The California Republican Party is the one organization that Newsom has to thank the most for this big victory. Because guess what they did? Even though Prop 1 is more debt at a time when we can least afford it, even though Prop 1 raids 1/3 of mental health treatment funds at the local level, and of course, we need treatment for mental health problems. We have a mental health crisis in this state, and the treatment should be the most important thing in terms of dealing with homelessness. Even though Prop 1 puts in these welfare housing projects with crime and grime in the neighborhood, and they're boondoggles, $1 million per unit. Even though Prop 1 strips you of your right to vote down these welfare housing projects, so that you don't have a voice in the process. The Republican Party, after knowing all of that, decided to go neutral. Here is their endorsement guide for the March primary. And I'm going to look at it right over here. Take a look at that. Ballot measures, mental health services bond, Prop 1, neutral? WTF? You are neutral on that shit sandwich? For goodness sakes. The Republican Party couldn't even come out saying, oh, that's a bad idea. More debt. Raiding mental health funds. giving bonds to rich developers for $1 million per pop units of condos in slimy, grimy, crime-filled public welfare housing projects, stripping voters of the right to vote. Oh, and by the way, let's add in the political end here. You ready for the pig giving the knife to the butcher? Prop 1 gives these developers billions of dollars of subsidies so they can get rich on these bad projects. And the developers cut campaign contribution checks back to Gavin Newsom and the Democrat Party and Democrat politicians across the state. So what is the Republican Party of California doing? They're helping finance Democrat politicians. Oh, you can't make this crap up. That's exactly what Prop 1 is. Think of Prop 1 as the homelessness version of high-speed rail in California. High-speed rail, that project, the boondoggle, the $130 billion train to nowhere, is nothing but a spending orgy for a bunch of political consultants and contractors who are then giving the money back to the politicians. Oh, by the way, the contractors and consultants are making themselves millions of dollars, but they share some of the profit with the politicians in the form of campaign contributions. You can follow the money yourself. Prop 1 is going to do that in spades. Oh, bravo. Great job, California Republican Party. You're helping fund your opponents so they can put you even more into an irrelevant position in future years. This is insane. You went neutral on Prop 1. When it's not even bad on homelessness. It's not only bad for neighborhoods. It's bad if you want to try to rebalance the politics in our state. Now, we brought this forward. We've been criticizing the Republican Party, and the insiders texted me their nasty, hate-filled messages of, we're coming for you. How dare you criticize the party? Look, I'm going to call your ass out on every single scam, every single negligent decision, anytime that you violate Republican principles and turn your back on the base and don't stand up and be a voice for us, you damn right I'm going to call you out on it. You don't deserve the position you're in. Just resign already, for God's sakes. Get out of Dodge. Anyone would be better than you at this point. And this is why so many Californians are leaving the state, because they've lost hope. They don't think that anyone is actually going to fight for them, because look what the Republican Party of California is doing. They're going neutral on such a bad measure. I guarantee you, if the Republican Party had gone oppose, let's go back to the numbers. The 28,000 votes that we fell short of defeating Gavin Newsom's signature measure would have gone the other way. We would probably be looking at a 300 or 400,000 vote win for the no side. And Newsom would be utterly humiliated, and we would have stopped this scam of funding Democrat politicians. That's where we are. It's actually why Reform California exists. Take a look at the website. I'm so proud of the work that we are doing with our coalition of grassroots activists around the state. What we're doing is we're speaking truth to power. And if sometimes that means calling out the Republican Party of California, so be it. Because we can't take back the state until we get the Republican Party cleaned up. We got to take back the party. We got to force the party to do its damn job. We got to sweep away the inept people and the corrupt people and get people who are principled and willing to fight. At Reform California, we also take the issues directly to the voters without the party label, without the Republican label. We are conservative. We're center-right in our point of view. But we're not Republican per se. So a lot of voters like what we have to say because we're not looking just at a party label. There are a lot of Republicans I've opposed for office because I don't find them to be any different than a Democrat. And so we not only provide news that voters need to know about because the liberal media won't tell them, but we also have campaigns active to stop tax hikes, require voter ID, flip target seats to break the Democrat supermajority, elect school board members, combat crime by restoring public safety, ending homelessness, and on and on and on. We're doing the work that the Republican Party of California should be doing. Now, look, we need the Republican Party We need it to be functioning and strong. And someday I hope to be able to say we have confidence in the team that's in the state party, that we have confidence in what they're doing and how they're doing it. And I will encourage you at that time to support them. But for the moment, I can't encourage you to support them at all. I would encourage you to find a good candidate locally who's got a shot to win. And by the way, we have a list of target seats right here. The top story of Reform California. Primary surprise, California Republicans have a path to end the Democrat supermajority in 2024. Check out that list because you may live in one of those seats. Take care of one of those candidates by volunteering or contributing. Check out local school board members. We have a voter guide that goes all the way down to those local elections that people don't have a whole lot of information about. We endorse as many candidates as we can find out whether they're good or bad. And of course, we do need your help in our fight to get our voter guide out, to recruit candidates, to endorse them, to support them, to do ballot harvesting, to do our ballot measure campaigns. We have our Protect Prop 13 campaign going on for the fall. Contribute whatever you can at that website, reformcalifornia.org. I am so sorry to share this information about the Republican Party with you, but you need to know. This is the problem that we face. In order to take on the Democrats, we must first take on the so-called Republicans. And we can do that because I think the appetite for change in California is so great. Join us in that fight at reformcalifornia.org. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and smash that notification button so you can stay up to date on all the developments in California news and politics. Also, please visit the website, reformcalifornia.org, for ongoing news coverage and to join one of our campaigns in the fight to take back our state. If you can, please sign up as a volunteer or chip in a contribution. This episode of Reform California with Carl DeMaio, paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly 2024.